section. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. True Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Come on in, smash the like button, like the video, share the video. I'm gonna say it one more time. Like the video, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel or his boyfriend Jerome to dictate what we do and the things we shine a light on here. Salute to y'all. Much love and appreciation. It's Friday. We made it. Yeah. So today it's going to be a bit of a reminder. I'm not going to say education because we all know that the business of boxing is dirty. It's going to be a bit of a reminder how dirty it is. See, some of you, y'all watch boxing, but y'all don't watch boxing. And many of you, when you're trying to justify a ridiculous move that a fighter that you support makes, you try and throw it on business as if you know what you're talking about. The reality is you don't. The reality is, if it suits the agenda of the fighter that you're protecting, you happily use business as an excuse as to why the fighter you slurp doesn't do what they're supposed to do. What you disregard is the fighters around that person, how it's affecting them. You disregard it. Now, I'm going to share something with you that I learned yesterday. Salute to my brother, Willie Lowe. He hit me on a text. As a matter of fact, what I need to do is send him I'm going to send him the link to his live because I don't think he knows about Pep Talk. But I know there's a lot of people looking for me now that don't know that I'm over here exclusively for the next few days until about maybe Wednesday. I just sent it. Because, you know, Jerome and Miguel, they don't like it when I talk about Tank and the pillow biting of Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis and stuff. You know, guys that support the business moves, their favorite fighters, they never consider who they're hurting. They never consider the sport as a whole because, well, the fanatics, they just want to see their fighter go unscathed. And there's a psychological thing behind that. I need you to understand. The fighters I support, I want them to prove that they're the best. The only way they can do that is fighting their contemporaries and if they can, win. If they can. These cats today, they celebrate when their favorite fighter ducks. If they were true supporters of the sport, they would hold their favorite fighter to a standard. Even when their fighter doesn't hold himself to that standard or herself to that standard. We just saw Mellow Yellow get on his social media and he clowned Lamont Roach. Yeah, I know where your kids go to school, and I'm super thug, and I'll do this and I'll do that, but you do everything but get into the ring. So you're ducking Lamont Roach, and you got your fans still holding on to this wing and the prayer that you're gonna fight him after Jake Paul, after you said you was gonna retire. But when I asked your fanatics, are you a liar? They have a problem answering that question. We just had Delano on here tell some truth. He was cool with Tank going up to a 140 in fighting Mario Barrios because he was afraid of Josh Taylor. Y'all heard Delano say that, who's a Tank fan. You heard him say, oh, no, Josh Taylor's too long, too rangy. He's built like a welterweight. Well, that's what Delano said. That's what he said, honesty. So he was cool for him going up to face Mario Barrios for a toy belt. So he does not want to see Tank challenge himself. Meanwhile, everybody around him are doing everything. But then turns right around and says, why aren't these guys fighting each other? Which I debunked in real time. I said, look, this guy fought that guy fought that guy. Everybody didn't fight everybody, but they were people on that 15 and their picture of 15 heads that did fight each other. But one thing was consistent is that Tank, with the exception of Lamont Roach, who he fought to a draw, he didn't fight anybody. Now, the reason why I'm using Tank as an excuse is because he's the excuse. To many, he's the name, right? We already had one face of boxing get thoroughly exposed in the ring. Everyone likes to use that term, exposed, right? He was exposed by Terrence Crawford. So now there's another one left. So I ain't got to bring up the Jake Paul nonsense. What I'm saying is the Jake Paul nonsense is nonsense, and it should not be happening. And Tank is not factoring in the entire sport as a whole. I put up 15 faces. He could have fought, made money, right? And boxing is supposed to be fraternity. You're supposed to break bread with each other, right? You're supposed to do that. Did he do it? No. And then clowns out loud. Clowns out loud that he's not gonna break bread with his brethren. Ain't that crazy? It's wild work, right? Well, just yesterday, a situation was brought to Willie Lowe. Salute, brother. Willie Lowe, Bomb Squad on deck. He sent me a text and he was like, I don't know what's going on with Deon Nicholson. Now, a lot of you, Unique Dawn, salute. And if I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. Steve L, Jose, Condo, salute. Mr. Shelton, salute. Yo, a lot of you don't even know who Deon Nicholson is, and that's okay. But I want you to understand something. Del Riv, salute. This was the man in the middle, because the man on the right and the left. This was Artur Beterbiev's next opponent. If you go to BoxRec right now, it says Deon Nicholson, Artur Beterbiev, November 22nd on DAZN. That's what it says. Okay, cool. Willie Lowe sends me a text saying, I don't know what's going on. The fight's off. Now, it's boxing. Between yesterday and today, the fight could still be on. I don't know. I've learned not to believe what BoxRec says. Well, Drew, it does say, yeah, you know what it also said? It said Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua with a date on it on BoxRec. I called Tate Jones. I said, yo, what are they doing that for? He said, man, we still in arbitration. And I did that video. I said, arbitration? I made it an acronym. References furnished upon request. Look it up. Arbitration. Just go to my page on Drew Titan LLC and put arbitration. I did a whole live on it. I made it an acronym. I was having fun with it. And then remember when we won arbitration and I jumped out my car and I did a live stream? Remember that? BoxRec said AJ Fury next. I was told by the team directly, no, you're still in arbitration. I don't know what they're talking about. And what happened? Well, not AJ and Fury. We got Wilder Fury 3. That's what happened. But BoxRec told the world that it was Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. So now if you go to BoxRec, you see Deon Nicholson, right? You know what? I ain't got to, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I can show you better than I can tell you. Look at that. Alta Beterbiev, November 22nd. That's what it says. You see that? So Willie Lowe got news that this is not next, and he didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. I said, well, shit, I don't know what's going on. Injury, that's the first thing I think. Injury, or what, you know, Alta's getting old. He already had meniscus surgery. I know all about that. I said, I don't know. And literally, you can't make this shit up. Literally, I get a notification minutes after reading what Willie Lowe sent me. Literally, I get a notification for Blue Blood. And he reveals that Alta is setting up to fight David Benavidez next. Granted, he gets past Anthony Yard.
What?
That's right. Now, look, it's boxing. This could change today because he got to get past Yard. And I'm going to say this. Do not look past Anthony Yard. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know he's going to be David's favorite to win. I understand. But here's the thing. Alta is old. And we don't know if because I know someone named Derek Nicholson in real life. We don't know if Deon could come in and, you know, weirder things have happened. He'll come in and Alta will have a tougher fight than need be. Maybe he still wins. We don't know. But again, Alta's one of those dudes in dog years. He's old. How many super fights he got left? I don't know, but maybe they want to keep him on he's only doing big fights type of thing, and he don't need to have a mishap or a hard fight against a Deon Nicholson. So the business has stepped in, which may be good for Alta, which may be great for you want to say you're happy for David because of the Canelo situation. So he gets to fight Anthony Yard, who's still a valid name, and that's not going to be an easy fight. And Alta, Alta's Alta. I'm happy for him too. He's a fun guy to watch, high knockout ratio. But who in the hell is Deon Nicholson, right? Why don't he get to make any money? He's put in work. Y'all gonna say this is business? It's not fair, right? It's just business, right? Y'all don't even know who the hell Deon Nicholson is, but you know what? I bet you he has a mortgage to pay. He might have some children. I know fighting Alta, I know he was about to make 6 figures. I wouldn't fight Alta for less than that. Fighting Alta Beterbiev may be your last fight. That man hit hard. Does anybody care? Does anybody even know who the fuck Deon Nicholson is? So, you know, it's business. It's never personal. But see, I want y'all to look at it from the others, out the eyes of someone else. Y'all remember, man. Then I don't even know if they're paying him step aside money. Because who is he to get step aside money? You know what I mean? I don't know how none of this is working. I'm not saying he's not getting it, because if they're going to pay him for his time, that's a little different. The way I heard how Blue explained it, they just leapfrogging him, just saying, oh, nah, get out of here. They might be paying him step aside money. I don't know. I don't know the specifics. But let's talk about opportunity. Because a lot of people say, well, who is he? What has he done? Well, this was his moment to do something. Deon Nicholson, 22 wins, 18 knockouts, 1 loss. He lost by knockout. No draws. American, Orthodox, 5'11". From Alabama. He fought for this position, and the business is stepping in, saying not so fast. And again, I don't even know if he's getting step-aside bread. I don't know nothing about that. But forget the bread for a second. This was his moment. I'll sound off names on his resume. Y'all don't know who the hell anybody is. And that's why that who's he fought goes but so far. You know what? Let me talk about that term, who's he fought. That term, who is he fought, should be reserved for somebody that they're speaking very highly of. Yeah, he is, Jose. That's why I'm being reserved about this. He absolutely is from there. That term, who's he fought, should be reserved for somebody who is in the top 5 and has a fan base that's a little odd, where you can't control the support that a fighter gets. That you can't control. I'll say that. But if you're in the top 5 and the media, because I could care about the online fans, because look at Ryan Garcia, hasn't done anything as it pertains to the world of boxing as far as holding titles and everything else. Hell, they make up titles for these guys to wave their banner if there's a market for that person. But that term, who's he fought, if you top 5 and you got commercials and shoe deals and Gatorade deals like a Ryan Garcia had, you on video games, and they're saying, "Oh, you one of the 4, 3, 2 kings. Yeah, you a top tier guy." And you're like, "Wait a minute. There's 4 belts. There's about 3 or 4 champions, and all of those guys, we've watched them move through the ranks and do special things to get into those positions. Hell, they got mandatories, and they got number 1, 2, and 3 contenders. But you holding this person, this guy's next up. Well, let me look at his resume. Hold on. I don't recognize anybody. He might have some highlight reel knockouts, but the dudes he knocked out, they were like 5 wins and 40 losses. But it looked nice. Wait a minute. What has he done? How good is he? Y'all remember Prince Naseem Hamed? Let me ask y'all a question. How good was he? That's a real question. It ain't no disrespect. It's a real question. How good was Prince Naseem Hamed? Anybody? Can anybody tell me how good Prince Naseem Hamed was? And I say this respectfully because he was fun to watch, but watch this, y'all. Who'd he fight? Kevin Kelly? Okay, I'll give you that. That was his first fight. I don't know if that was his first fight on American soil. I got to look that up, but they made a big deal out of him. He came to New York, Madison Square Garden. I almost went to that fight, but I couldn't. But it took him 40 minutes to walk to the damn ring. George Foreman was dancing. It was funny as hell. He got there and got dropped in the first round. Now, he came back and won in outstanding fashion, but he was in the fight. Kevin was giving him the business until he wasn't. And it was after that fight, I said, yeah, this is fun to watch. It's a spectacle. He got a lot of swag. He has an awkward style. He's very powerful. If he clips you, it's over. He could punch. But if he get in the ring with one of those little Mexican motherfuckers, it's over for him. They ain't having it. Matter of fact, there's a few black fighters right now that'll beat his ass. Namely, there's a guy named Floyd Mayweather. He'll whoop his ass. Those little Mexican dudes, Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, I think they'll give him problems. So they showcase Prince Nassim Hamed, and what happened? He starts working with Emmanuel Stewart. I said, well, you can't go wrong there. What you got? Well, he got in the ring with Marco Antonio Barrera, and if you've never seen that fight, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. And that fight, he speaks on it later in life. That fight ruined him. It ruined his confidence. It ruined him. Marco Antonio Barrera, he didn't do anything of note past that. So I'm asking y'all, how good was Prince Nassim Hamed? Do y'all even remember what title he had? Asking for a friend. I'm not trying to cut him down. I'm making a point. Fun to watch. Very fun to watch. But seriously, he had the WBC. I didn't remember. I remember the commercial when they were marketing him. I didn't even know he was a boxer for a hot second. Until I remembered I had a Ring magazine or something. I said, wait, that's that dude. That's that Middle Eastern British dude. I said, oh, that's him. He did the front flip off the top of a building, and some black dude with dreads was speaking in church tongues. Oh, you will see, and he is here. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? And he did a front flip off the top of a building. He's in New York. I said, who the fuck is this? You know, I'm looking. I thought he was like Guyanese. I said, well, who is this? What does he do? And I said, oh, that's that Nassim Hamed dude. Oh, okay. He's fighting Kevin Kelly. Not easy work. And it wasn't. Main Biker says the backflip title. Hey, man. Jim Diamond, salute. MJ, salute. Toby, what's going on? I was like, oh, okay. They put him in there with Kevin, and he almost blew it. Hen Dog, salute. He almost blew it. He almost blew it. Almost. And HBO said, yo, don't do that shit again. Del Spoolie, salute. They said, don't do that again. He had a fight up here on Foxwoods. Yeah, Main Biker, I thought he was Guyanese because I didn't know what I was watching at first. I'm like, what is he selling? If the first, let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Nassim Hamed commercial. This is it. This is it. This is it. I'm gonna play it right here. This is it. Okay, let's do this. I gotta call fair use on this because YouTube be wilding for respect out here. Y'all remember this commercial? This was everywhere. I'm like, who is this? Hold on. That's the World Trade, y'all.
You will come. You will fall before him.
I just thought that he was advertising for like Adidas.
You will listen to what he has to say. He will not be defeated. Listen, America. You're too late. He's already here. He is here.
Now look, by the way, Andrew 100, salute. By the way, anybody that looks like that in New York and they have swag like that, they're usually Guyanese. That's why I said that. Maine knows what I'm talking about. Anybody that looks like that, salute, Queen, that looks like that with all that swag, they're usually Guyanese. True Boxing Night, salute. So I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like, okay, they boxing apparel or whatever. And I said, wait, hold on. And I saw the belts there. I picked up my magazine. I said, oh, that's that Prince Nassim Hamed dude. No. I didn't think he was Latino at all. I could look at him and tell. I didn't think he was Latino at all. I thought he was Guyanese. I swear to God. And then I saw the commercial a few times and I said, oh, he wasn't front flipping off of a building. It was off of a boat. But I said, well, what's this commercial? And I said, oh, wait, hold on. And I picked up the magazine and there he was. I said, oh, this is that British kid. Remember, y'all, there was no internet back then. Yeah, Ob Jones, that was 96. There was no internet back then. We literally had to do research. Guyana, Mr. Shelton, Guyana. And sidebar, Guyanese women are some of the baddest chicks you could ever see, man. Yo, listen. I went on a boat ride last summer. It was one of those boat rides around the city. And there was two boats leaving. We was in Brooklyn somewhere, right? Park up and I go to the boat. I'm waiting on the line. I was going on it's like a all white affair. And then the boat behind us was playing all of this soca music. And all of those Guyanese, they had the flag waving. Every chick that went to that boat. Oh my God. I said, I'm on the wrong boat. Every chick that got on that boat, I rock, salute, brother. Every chick. I was like, God damn it. I'm about to ditch this shit. What? How I get on that? Yo, every chick was bad. Everyone. Brown skin, like a tan, like dark brown, with the straight long hair and that accent, and all of them had curves, even the slim ones. And there was no, when I tell you those were, even the chunky ones were gorgeous. And no shade to the chunky girls. What I'm saying is everybody, and all I smelled was fruit. Oh my God. I was the only brother looking at that boat. We was like, yo, should we go to that boat? We on the wrong boat. We all on the wrong boat. Mad dudes. We was facing in the wrong direction. We was like, yo, what's going on that boat? We on the wrong boat. Oh nah, Felix, I'm in YouTube jail because Miguel and his boyfriend Jerome don't like what I had to say about Tiki Tank. Don't worry, I'm roasting Tank. Starting Wednesday, it's gonna be a Tank roast all the way up to the Jake Paul fight, and he better win. He better win. Man, that boat was like, oh, what? All of those shit. There was a grandma that pulled up. I said, she get it too. She had gray in her hair. I said, look at her. Oh my God. Goodness. Goodness. Shout out to Guyana. Oh my Lord. So Boxing Wiz says, man, why does Tank get so much hate? I don't know. You tell me. Don't block him. Let him talk. You tell me why Tank gets so much hate. I would love to see your answer. And while you type your answer, I'm going to get back to talking boxing. So my point of bringing up Prince Nassim Hamed was, although he could fight, and I'm sure he did a lot of good things in his career, he was a marketing scheme. And he showed it because after the Beterbiev fight, he didn't do anything past that. And he just kind of like faded off, didn't he? And there was a big push behind him. Meanwhile, who were the real workers? Guys like Beterbiev, who fought for their place in history. Eric Morales, who fought for their place in history. Juan Manuel Marquez, who fought for his place in history. Junior Jones, who fought for his place in history. Yeah, Del Spoolie, you ain't lying, brother. You are not lying. Snacks B, salute. You ain't lying. Oh, I'll never forget that. I said, man, I was looking at the brothers on the line. We was like, yo, we on the wrong boat, bro. We definitely on the wrong boat. Oh my God. We was looking, yo, all of those girls, and the wind was blowing, and all we smelled was fruit. I was like, we are on the wrong boat. You know how you taking your kid away from the toy section in the store, and they start pointing and pulling on you? That's how we felt. Okay, the line's moving, get on your boat. We was like, no, we want to go on that boat. And that boat ride was trash. You're on the wrong boat. I wanted to go on that boat. The boat pulled from the dock. We all look. The brothers on the we on the side of the boat. It's tilting. We looking at the other boat. Like, no, we want to be on the Guyanese boat. Oh. Oh. No, Boxing Wiz. No, I asked them not to block you. Never seen you before, so you're being respectful. It's okay. But let me highlight what you said, because incidentally, this is what I'm talking about this morning, fella. You said it's a good business move. So let me ask you a question, Boxing Wiz, and I say it respectfully. I'm asking you respectfully. You're being very respectful. You asked why does Tank get hate that he does, and I said, well, you tell me. And you said something interesting here. You said it's a good business move. You said, I'm guessing Tank gets hate because he's taking the Jake Paul fight, but I think that's a good business move. Okay, you think it's a good business move. Can I ask you a question, Boxing Wiz? Do you like Tank performance in the ring? You like watching him fight? It's okay if you're a Tank fan. I deal with this all the time. But you think it's a good business move. That's what you said. So I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that. Just answer my question. Do you enjoy watching Tank Davis perform in the ring? That's my question to you, brother. And while you type that, I'll continue making my point. Nassim Hamed is remembered for his swag, for his antics. Boxing Wiz says Tank is very entertaining. That's great. The other day, I put up 15 faces. 15, Boxing Wiz, that Tank did not fight. So my question to you is, you're cool with the business move of Jake Paul. My question is, he's retiring at the end of this fight, according to him. Are you fine with him not fighting his contemporaries. Are you cool with that? If you're cool with it, you're cool with it. But I'm not. And that's the disconnect between myself and Tank fanatics. I love the sport. Tank fans love him. And the justification for them loving him doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, he got highlight reel knockouts. But against who? Because I'm looking at the resume. It doesn't match. And I said this about Mike Tyson in the 80s. I said, all right, this is funny and all, but he ain't really getting nobody. I mean, there's a couple of names there, but he's not really getting anybody. And then when the division got thick, he goes to jail. Then when he comes out of jail, the division was thick. And he didn't get anybody until he got who? Evander Holyfield. And it went from, oh, Drew, he gonna hit Evander in the chest to give him a heart attack. Because remember Evander had heart problems back then? And I said, nope. I said, Evander gonna go in there and whoop his ass. And all of my friends laughed at me. I said, okay, I was the only person around my way that said I was saying Evander was gonna fuck him up when Evander had a flat top. We're talking like 89. HMC salute, like 1989. And I got laughed at. I said, yo, look, y'all are gassed by a little punch-out game and these cartoon-style knockouts. All these guys made the order. And what happened? He got his ass kicked. Boxing Wiz says, I'd like to see him fight many other fighters, but if you look at Tank's point of view, he was the people's champ. Then, after the Roach fight, the people in the crowd started booing him. He was whose champ? The people's champ? By way of what? Here's what I need you to do, Boxing Wiz, because I'm just going off of what you said. He was the people's champ. He wasn't my champ, because how could I believe what you say when I see what you do? I need for you to name Tank Davis career-defining fights. And this is where we get down to the meat and potatoes of it. Now we're going to get to the protein and the starch. We're going to have the carbohydrates for your energy. You're going to have your protein for the muscle building. Okay, let's get down to it. Name me Tank's career-defining fights. Name me Tank's fights where you say, okay, this fight right here, this puts him in the Hall of Fame. Do that. Because at least I can do that with Mike Tyson. As critical and honest I was with him, about him and his career, there are things that he accomplished that's Hall of Fame worthy. I'll give him that. I need you, and don't anybody help him, I need you to explain to me how this guy goes to the Hall of Fame, because that's how, that's the measuring stick. When a fighter hangs it up, you say, okay, he's going to hang it up. Okay, well, is this fighter going to be spoken about in a decade? That's how I remember fighters. And I also look at the competition that they didn't fight. All I see with Tank, and I had on 15, and there was a few names missing. I only put up 15. If Tank does hang it up after Jake Paul, there are 15 names, 15 that he never fought. That makes you scratch your head like, wait, why didn't he fight it? And in a decade, his fan base will insist that it was everyone else's fault. And that's not true. Not when he's the A-side. He says, firstly, I think he defied the odds beating a version of Pedraza that he did, which started his career. Did you know that he looks at that fight as a setup fight? He thought Floyd was setting him up. So he defied the odds by beating Pedraza. Does beating Pedraza put him in the Hall of Fame? No, it does not. It's just a win. And you said right there, it started his career. Groovy. So you start your career by beating Pedraza. Great. Give me another one. You don't go to the Hall of Fame by beating. Oh, okay, so you didn't say that. Okay, great. Great. This is great. Give me his career-defining fights where after he hangs it up, you say, you know what? This is a Hall of Fame fighter right there. Because that's my measurement stick. When a fighter hangs it up, is he Hall of Fame worthy? I could look at his record, his resume, and say, hey, this kid right here, Hall of Fame. You wasn't here the other day, Boxing Wiz. I put up 15 faces that Tank did not fight, and it was nothing but space and opportunity. All of them were active. Everybody was at 135, and I added in some 140 in there, and I left off about 3 names. Okay, you say he's the people's champ. This is great. Okay, this is really rich. What is the measuring stick of those people? That's my question, brother. What's the measuring stick of the people? What is the measuring stick? This is very, very important, y'all. I need y'all to see this. Because this isn't hate. This is logic. And me and Boxing Wiz are having a conversation. I like doing this. Being able to fill out an arena, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. That's the answer I was looking for. So people like to go see him fight anybody, do anything. So by your standards, with no effort, good. Okay. So by those standards, Jake Paul is the people's champion. Right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jake Paul fills out arenas. Uh-oh. Matter of fact, I think Jake Paul sold out more arenas than Tank has. And Jake Paul hasn't been in the sport of boxing as long as Tank has. And Jake Paul is not a quote-unquote real fighter like Tank is. But he sells out arenas. So by your definition, Jake Paul is the people's champ. Yes? You see why I Boxing Wiz, and I'm saying this respectfully. I enjoy this conversation. You're being very respectful, and this is all this is. You see my problem with those standards? You see why those standards don't fly with me? You understand what I'm saying, brother? He says that's a good point. I appreciate that. This is what I'm saying. So what's happening here is that when I make those simple points, the average Tank fan that uses that logic, they call me a hater. And I said, that's not hate. This is logic. I'm a supporter of the sport. Tank had 15 names, and I had Lamont Roach there, whom he fought already to a draw. And all I wanted to see him do was get that right. And he's fighting Jake Paul and then clowning Lamont Roach on Twitter saying, aha, I'm not giving you another payday. Right? And Boxing Wiz, I want you to listen to this. He clowned Lamont Roach, threatened his kids and everything. Clowned Lamont Roach. Aha, I'm not giving you a payday. Clowned Shakur, who aggressively pursued him, saying, aha, I'm not giving you a payday either. I'm not giving you a payday either. Right? He made fun of him. Right? His fans, Boxing Wiz, never mind the chat. You and I is having a conversation. It's okay. Never mind that. Then his fan base, right? His fan base, the people that say he's a people champion, they said he don't have to bend the knee to Turki Al-Sheikh, which was strange to me because Turki Al-Sheikh just wanted to pay him like he's paying all of these fighters, right? Then Tank got mad at all the fighters going over to Riyadh Season 2 get paid, right? Got mad with them, right? And then by the way of that logic, because the only people I heard saying that, co-signing Tank saying, you know, I work for me or whatever he said, don't bend the knee to Turki Al-Sheikh, but he's bending the knee, Joe Townsend, salute. He's bending the knee to Jake Paul. Tank Davis didn't even know that Jake Paul is the one signing his check for this fight. He didn't even know that. I facepalmed so hard, it sounded like a gunshot. I said, this kid don't even know that Jake Paul is signing that check. GTD has nothing to do with this event. It's MVP. And he told him to his face, and Tank didn't know that. So you don't bend the knee to Turkey out of Sheik, but you bend the knee to Jake Paul, and this guy could fuck around and hurt you. I don't want to see a picture of Tank on the floor looking like Apollo Creed and Jake Paul with that beard and with his tongue out his mouth screaming. Because Tank, the people's champ, has a responsibility to his people not to put them through that. Because Tank, as a black fighter, it means more. Because white media needs a face in boxing. They need a black villain. And if they can get somebody, anybody, that they could get behind for any reason, just to get those optics on it, that's going to overshadow anything that Tank ever did. And white media already turned on Tank. I don't think you caught that, Boxing Wiz. They already turned on. I talked about this yesterday or the day before. They already turned on Tank. Because now Max Kellerman and Mike Coppinger, they're ripping his career. Now they're calling it into question. When we said, y'all better stop, Eric Jordan, salute. When we said, y'all better stop telling Devin Haney, get it back in blood, get it back in blood, get it back in blood. First of all, when Deontay Wilder said, I'm going to fight Tyson Fury, I'm going to get it back in blood, y'all laughed at him. When he got robbed 3 times by that man, y'all laughed at him. When Devin Haney got robbed by Ryan Garcia, y'all made excuses for him. And then when all the shit came out about what he did, y'all said, don't sue him, get it back in blood. Y'all didn't even know what the fucking lawsuit was about. And then when he's been trying to get it back in blood, the person that ducked the rematch was Ryan, and he still ducked it. But why I brought that up? Jake Paul's loss in the ring was to Tommy Fury. Nobody said get it back in blood. Now he's fighting Tank Davis, who he outweighs by at least 80 pounds. What? This is a mismatch. The state of Georgia said, I don't want nothing to do with this. Now they're going to Florida. What? And this kid could get hurt. So you say wait, what'd you say? You said you think boxing media and regular media trashes Tank as well? No, that's not true. See, you're new here. When you trashing somebody, that means you just get on here and undermine everything that they've done just to talk shit about them. That's done to Devin Haney. That's done to Deontay Wilder. That was done to Bud. That's been done to Errol. It's been done to a lot of black fighters. I don't undermine Tank's accomplishments. I just said I want more. He's done some things, but there was nothing but space and opportunity for him to do everything. And he just chose not to do it. So I don't trash him, because trashing someone is undermining what they've done, and that would make me a liar. I don't have to lie on Tank. I'm telling the truth. Boxer Wiz, let me ask you a question, because you say you respect the Jake Paul fight. And I'm going to bring it full circle, because I'm not really supposed to be even talking about Tank, but he's part of the example of the point that I'm making today. Because Deon Nicholson is being looked over, because a bigger money fight will be between Beterbiev and Benavidez. And this brother from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, is getting overlooked. Not saying he's going to win. I'm not saying he's going to lose. I'm saying he's getting dicked out of an opportunity for popularity. You saw someone on the Porterway podcast try to say that Tank got his ass whooped. Well, I don't think he won the fight. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's an opinion. But the fight was a draw. So you can have 50% of the people saying that Tank won. You have 50% of the people saying that Lamar won. What do you do logically to rectify that? It's a rematch, yes? But he's not even giving The people, because you say he's the people's champ. They're Tank fans that's telling me, hey, man, Tank is going to smoke Lamont in a rematch. You know what I say, Boxing Wiz? Great, let's see it. That's all I ever said. Tank beats this guy? Great, can I see that? Tank beats that guy? Great, can I see that? That's all I ever said. You know what Tank said? Tank has called his fans soft, sassy, bitch-ass niggas. He don't even like y'all. And I'm standing here like, wait a minute. Hold on. What's with this kid? I'm not even trying to figure it out anymore. There's like about 17 people he didn't fight that I would have liked to have seen. But his fan base tell me that he beats everybody. All I ever said was, can I see it? Can I get one fight that I want? Can he get one career-defining fight? No. But he told us he's about his money. He's not like other fighters. He wants therapy. He wants all the anger out of him. He got kids to raise. He got 2 daughters. He lied and said, well, hold on. Boxing Wiz. You said boxing media trashes him. Can I ask you a question? Is Tank a liar? Joseph says, you're shocked that I spent this much time hating on another black man. Well, well, well. Here I am in my show, and I'm trying to talk up a black man who's about to be frozen out of an opportunity by a white Russian and a Latino. And I'm speaking up on his behalf. Not even really supposed to be talking about Tank. I was just trying to make an example and enter Joseph and Boxing Wiz, and I'm politely explaining. You said I wouldn't call him a liar. I think he's very emotional, though. That's not what I asked you, brother. You said you wouldn't call him a liar? All right, let me highlight that. Joseph, I'll get back to you in a second. You better be a real channel, brother, because you're about to get some work. Pay attention, Boxing Wiz.
You say before you retire, you want to fight Devin and Shakur. Is that still the plan?
I never said that. When I said that, I never said that. But I would for sure. But I never said before I retire I want to fight them too. I never said that.
You said
New deal, 7-fight deal, which is music to the ears of many boxing fans. Get to see you in action for several more years. What type of names are we talking about on those 7 names?
Whoever you name, they could be in it.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Boxing Wiz, is Tank Davis a liar? Yes or no? Boxing Wiz, is Tank Davis a liar? No. Do not move the goalposts. I asked you a very, very simple question. You just heard it. Is Tank Davis a liar? I'm not talking about, please, and this is what Tank Davis fans do, y'all. You done broke the Shakur glass. Then they break the Devin Haney glass. They skip over the Lomachenko glass. They skip that. Yeah, I know I got you laughing, bro. But please answer the question. I'm asking you respectfully, young man. Well, I'm assuming you're a young man. Is Tank Davis a liar? Did he not just lie? I just played it for you. Now, Joseph, let me ask you a question. Would you like a link so we can have a conversation? Because I'm hating on a black man, right? Would you like a link so we can talk? Would you like to have a conversation with me? Boxing Wiz. Okay, I see I got to help you along. See, this is what Tank fans do. All right? This is what Tank fans do. All right? This is why I have a problem with them. Everything that I said was factual. I literally just showed this kid lied. He lied about a 7-fight deal. He lied about not saying that he wanted to fight Shakur and Devin. He lied. He absolutely lied. He lied about sending Shakur a contract. Shakur said, if you sent me anything, post it. And Tank posts all kinds of shit. He posts comments, and what he does? He deletes it. The dude lied. The kid is a liar. He's a liar. He's not Hall of Fame bound. He's a walking, living contradiction. He's an emotional wreck. I think he's bipolar. And I think the proper thing for him to do after he gets his bag with Jake Paul is to get out the sport and take care of your family and take your fans with you. Because I'm trying to talk boxing here. They're here to wave pom-poms. I'm not doing that. I want the best competition to face off so the best fighter can emerge. That's how I came up. I don't know what all of this, chrome hearts and tattooed, and I love his hair. I don't know where that came from. I never said, I love Tommy Hearns because that Jerry curl is crispy. I never said that. I like Marvin Hagler because of his bald head. Never said that. I don't recall my uncles and my dad having conversations about cars or nothing. No. They were talking about who was going to win the fight. Those names that I mentioned, at least they made it to the ring and fought. I put up 15 faces the other day. The only person he fought was Lamont Roach, and that was to a draw. Logic says you run it back. And he said, I'm not running it back. I'm going to go get this bag from Jake Paul, who's signing your check. And you get cats like Joseph coming in here talking about, hey, you hating on a black man for getting his bread. No, I wanted Tank to get his bread when Turkey Al-Sheikh offered him $50 million to go to Saudi to fight Devin. I wanted him to get his bread then because you're getting your bread and you could possibly beat Devin Haney. And he didn't even want to do that. His excuse was, oh, well, Devin's his man. Well, all your fans say, and you say you knocked Devin out. So just go do it. He didn't do it. And your fans agreed with you with that, right? Oh, no, he's not going down there to get robbed. Well, this is why I hold Devin to a high standard. Because we told Bill, hey, man, tell Devin he ain't got to go to Australia to fight George Kambosos. They're going to rob that kid. Too late. He was already in the air. Devin's a dog. He had to go to Australia. The first time he went, he had no corner. He had like 2 people. They stopped his cut man at customs. Do you know that? And he still won undisputed and then defended it over there. Tank would never do that. He wouldn't even go to Saudi to fight Devin. But then you tell me he's the people's champ? Who are these people? Never mind. I already know. I've been singing They Not Like Us for the last 30 years. For the last 30 years, I've been singing They Not Like Us. Kendrick just made a song of it. I've been saying that. I'm not, you guys ain't me. Boxing Wiz, watch this. You think Tank beats Dev? Great. Why haven't we seen it? And stop right there. Why haven't we seen it? The A side in all directions. I put up 15 faces yesterday. He never fought him. Never fought him. Eric Jordan, that super chat. He says, Tank Franks never fail by Miguel clapping their goddamn cheeks. Well, I mean, you know how it is.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
Devin ran around 35. He stuck around that damn division for like 6 or 7 years, draining himself, looking for all the smoke. All I heard was excuses from everybody. I said, wait. Can y'all fight him? Can you fight him, please? Nobody? Subadel Matias, no smoke. Tank Davis, no smoke. Shakur, no smoke. Teofimo, no smoke. The only person that fought him was George Kambosos. Twice. He lost, but at least he did it. Watch this. You know what pains me to say? It pains me to say that Teofimo Lopez has a better resume than Tank Davis. How about that? Here we go. Y'all go ahead and read that. You saw, that's what you saw? Now we understand what Boxing Wiz is. That's what you saw? That's what you saw? Let me ask you a question, Boxing Wiz. Then how the hell did Bill Haney win the $10,000 bet that day? How did he win? I knew about that sparring before y'all knew about it. I'm going to get back on task because I really didn't want to talk about Tank. You see, all I have to do is say this man's name and his fanatics pop up. Joseph, where are you, by the way? Are you still here, Joseph? You said that I'm hating on a black man. You, I want to talk to. Boxing Wiz, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, dude. You're out of your mind. Here's the real story. It was doghouse rules. Devin was 16. You're not a boxing fan, young man. I can tell you're not. Devin was 16. Tank was in his 20s. Tank got his ass beat. The excuse was he was out of shape. Irrelevant. Devin took his best, gave it back. Tank quit. Early in it, Adrian Broner tried to hop in. And he said, no, don't do that. There's money on this. Devin's fine. He got his drunk ass out the ring, and Devin proceeded to whoop his ass, and Tank quit. When Floyd Sr. was asked, well, who's next up next to your son? He said, that kid Devin. Not Tank, Devin. Said, really? Yes. He said, they sparred. Didn't he spar with Tank? He said, yeah. He said, who won? He said, who you think won? That's what happened. Then they put out a 60-second clip of highlights that was meshed together to make Devin look bad. And I said, wasn't that doghouse rules? So I know it was longer than 60 seconds. Who put out that? Nobody knows. It was Floyd. It was Floyd. So then they go to Ellie Seckback because Ellie Seckback was there. He has it on video. They go to Ellie. They say, Ellie, you were there. You recorded it. Put the video out. You know what Ellie Seckback said? I'm not going to put the video out because of my loyalty to Tank Davis. Reporting. So why won't you put it out? Now, let me get this straight. You don't like Devin. You don't like Bill. Copper, salute. You don't like Devin. You don't like Bill. If Tank whooped Devin's ass, you don't think he'd have put that out to shut down the conversation? He didn't do it because of his loyalty to Tank. Then the real sparring footage came out after Tank and Floyd fell out. And then you see Tank getting his ass whooped. Yeah, it's called premature stoppage. What AB tried to do when Devin was on the ropes, he tried to hop in there. And everybody said, AB, get the fuck out the ring. What are you doing? Now, if his back was on the ropes, why didn't he put him back on there again? That's equivalent to, I'm going to play you in a game of one-on-one in ball, and you hit a jump shot and then run off the court. Nah, I'm good. I just beat you. And you run off the court. Like, wait a minute. The game just started. You're going to score 2 points and leave? Get out of here. Get out of here. Tank got his ass beat. And I kept telling the Tank fans, I said, wait a minute, y'all are missing something very important. Bill won the bet. What are we talking about? Bill won the bet. And Tank never said the reason why Devin won was because they cheated for him. He never said that. He said, I beat him up in sparring, and he lied. Because we saw the video. He never said anything after that. So I'm not going to go back and forth with you boxing whiz on this, because the truth is the truth. Now, that was sparring and Devin was 17. What about now? There was an awful lot of belts being exchanged at 135, and Tank wasn't in the middle of it until Devin left. And the WBA strap that he's holding hostage right now, that's Devin's old belt. He didn't fight for it. They emailed it to him. Remember that term, email? That was so bad, and y'all made that up to degrade Devin Haney. You're blaming Devin Haney for receiving the belt in the mail, but meanwhile, you're not blaming the nigga who sent it and Vasily Lomachenko. You know Vasily Lomachenko, that Tank never fought? That guy? Blaming the victim. Blaming the victim. I mean, this is disgusting. But where's Joseph at? Joseph, you still here? I want to talk to you. Because I'm hating the black man, right? Joseph, where are you? Please don't be a coward. Please don't be a coward. Don't do that. Don't do that. I can't continue to support hating on black men. You know what? The biggest hater in the world is Tank Davis. Where you want to go with this? Ain't he Muslim? Where you want to go with this? We can go anywhere. Because the brilliant thing about him is I don't have to lie on this kid. How did he treat his Muslim brother in Turkey Al-Sheikh? The shit that he said to him. How did he treat his Muslim brother in Devin Haney? The shit he said to him. You don't want to break bread with Devin. You want to talk crazy about Devin. But you breaking bread with who? A white man that outweighs you by 70 pounds. You sure you want to talk to me about a black man hating on a black man? You sure you want to do that, Joseph? Or did you leave? Don't ever in your life question my integrity as a black man. Because the thing is, you're a young, misguided black man, and you need therapy and you need guidance. Willing to give it to you by way of this conversation, because boxing is a direct reflection of life. Now, if you're willing to have that conversation with me, I'm open to it. But you can't come in here and throw rocks and hide your hand. I'm not going to let you do it. I'm willing to address you, because that's how men do. You see me in Boxing Wiz, I have to educate them. Have to educate them, because I ain't got to lie on it. We're staying on task. Now, hating on the black man, who's Deon Nicholson? You see, I'm going to bring it back full circle. Deon Nicholson is a light heavyweight out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, who's getting overlooked. Exactly, Willie Lowe. Pulled a drive-by left. Now, our brother Deon Nicholson is being overlooked by way of the business. This isn't a shot at Benavidez. This isn't a shot at Arthur Beterbiev. The business is saying, I'd rather see these two guys fight than Deon Nicholson. Because who's that? It's not fair, but it's business. How many times you heard me say, I understand the business of boxing, but I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it. Sooner or later, these guys get found out. Everybody was out here in New York talking about the prince, the prince, the prince. I never seen so many Pakistanis go to Madison Square Garden in my life. I said, oh shit. He's definitely not Guyanese. There were Sikhs and Indians, and because they wanted, Indians and Pakistanis are different. But they saw somebody in a boxing ring that looked like them. So they support it. It's like when Jeremy Lin caught heat in New York right here. He had a breakout game, and he was on the front page of the New York Post, and they called it Linsanity. And the Asian community in New York had somebody they can rally behind. And let me tell you, that's beautiful. I don't have no problem with that. I went to a couple of Knicks games, and I saw that. I said, look at all the Chinese people here. And guess what? Jeremy Lin is not Chinese. Did you know that? He's not Chinese. I think he's Korean or something. He's of Korean descent. But they have somebody there that looks like them. If you was like into hockey, but not really, and then all of a sudden, there's a black guy doing things on the ice that you never seen before. And it's like, oh shit, I ain't never seen that. You could do that? And he's changing the game of hockey. As a black person, you're like, well, damn, let me watch this guy play. Oh man. Now there's kids in the inner city saying, you know what? I want to play hockey now. I want to do what he's doing. And then you find out he's like, his parents are from Ghana, but they went to Canada. He's not even American, but he's changing the game. He put eyes on the NHL that weren't there before. Now when I don't know, the Calgary Flames come to New York, a bunch of black people are in MSG. You never seen that many mooks in the garden during a Rangers game in your life. What is this? Yeah, I think it's beautiful. But that's as far as it went for Naseem Hamed. Tank Davis fans, if this kid keeps his word after this Jake Paul fight, whatever happens, now I'm on record saying, I hope he don't get knocked out and get made a meme of. Because that's a shot at our community, the black fight fans. Because people, I told y'all, if Tank loses big, I'm going live after the fight. Watch how many people come here trying clowning me just because I'm a black boxing channel. Remember I said I didn't want this because it means more than Tank. They look to make statements, and Tank don't understand that. And I think his fan base don't understand that either. I would rather have Tank fought at least 3 or 4 of his contemporaries. I wouldn't have a problem if he fought Devin, win or lose, Shakur, win or lose, Kambosos, win or lose, Teofimo, win or lose, Lomachenko back in 2018. I didn't mind that. I wouldn't have no problem with that. But he didn't even try. And what's happening to Deon Nicholson on the outside looking in, to y'all, they're not even paying attention to it. It's a crime. I don't know how much money he was finna make with this, but this was also an opportunity to jump on Beterbiev. If Beterbiev is gonna get old overnight, you want to be the fighter in there to expose that. And win or lose, even if Deon did lose to Beterbiev, at least we could say, well, he was in there with Beterbiev. He lost, but he was in there. That's what we said about Marcus Brown last week. Y'all don't know who else was on his resume, but you know who you do know that he got stopped by Beterbiev because he almost beat him. Boxing Wiz, you still in here talking about what is he gonna do, what is he not gonna do? You have no idea what's going on and what it means. Did you hear a word I said? You better hope he doesn't lose, because I'm detached from this shit. From him. I've been detached from him for a long time. You have no idea what white supremacy is and what they're looking to do to this kid. And for him to say that he was not willing to break bread with his brothers, but he's jumping in there, and his fan base said, don't bend the knee to Turkey and you're a boss or whatever. He's not a boss, because as it pertains to this fight, who's signing his check? Jake Paul. Y'all have no idea how white supremacy works. Y'all think these things don't apply to y'all. And if he hurt Tank bad and he's on the goddamn floor and he's standing over him, they're going to put that picture right next to Ali enlisting. And y'all are too ignorant to even understand what that means. They need a hero. Now, me getting back on purpose, this shit with Deon Nicholson is a crime. It's a crime. I don't like it. Now, are they paying him step aside money? I don't know. Willie Lowe, could you do me a favor? See if you can get this brother on my show so I can find out what the fuck is going on. I don't know if they're paying him step aside money. They might be saying, well, shit, who are we to pay him step? What the fuck? He gonna have to sue to get the money. But to sue somebody, you got to lawyer up. And some of these cats, you know, not everybody's living in mansions and shit. These guys, they have day jobs. You could be right, but if you ain't got the power to face the machine, because the machine got $1 million lawyers. They do this shit every day. They got lawyers that'll crush you, and they could be dead wrong. Sometimes going to court is not worth it. They told this nigga, man, sit down. You'll get the winner or something. So Benavidez has to get past Anthony Yard, which is no easy task. And then they're looking to fight Benavidez. I mean, Benavidez looking to fight Beterbiev in 2026. Meanwhile, where does that leave Deon Nicholson? Why? I mean, Anthony Yard is not easy work. Why can't Arthur just fight Deon Nicholson and that's two stay busy fights and the winners face each other? No, they're just going to put this guy on the shelf for what? Why are they doing that? That's bullshit. But that's business. That's business, right? How many times did Sergey Kovalev give Alida Alvarez step-aside money? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? How many times did he give Alida Alvarez step-aside money? Tell me. Anybody? Y'all remember what Shakur did to Jamel Herring? Business, right? But one thing at a time. Thank you, main biker. It was like about 4 times. It was like about 4 times. RL, I'm not talking about Usyk, and I don't rate Usyk because he's a heavyweight. Pound for pound means if you're the heavyweight champion, you're the baddest motherfucker on this planet. And by way of Usyk, he's the baddest motherfucker on the planet. But that he's not pound for pound. We compare everyone from the lighter divisions to Usyk. So I don't put heavyweights on the pound for pound list. But anyway. Yeah, you're missing my point, Boxing Wiz. You're missing my point. You don't know what happened leading up to that fight. It was involving money. I'm not going to get into it. But I do know Shakur said, yo, man, it's not personal, it's business. I said, man, that's fucked up because they're supposed to be friends. They're supposed to be friends. Yeah, that's right. And by the way, RL, Usyk said that Bud Crawford is #1 pound for pound.
Whoa! What the
Those were his words, not mine. That's what he said. That's what he said. So I'm not rating Usyk because he's a heavyweight champion, undisputed. But Usyk said that Bud is #1 pound for pound. He's been saying it for like 3 years. He said that, not me. So there goes that. Oh, by the way, thank you, Shelton. So did Vasily Lomachenko. When they were trying to put that crown on Lomachenko so bad, yo, you're #1 pound for pound. He said, no, I think it Bud Crawford. He's #1. He's #1 pound for pound. Yeah, because he ain't want Bud to look at him and say, yo, what you want to do? Freaky diggy? Y'all don't know about freaky diggy. Y'all don't know about that. See, I'm showing my age right now. What you want to do? Freaky diggy? Bud would have looked at Lomo. I'm not pound for pound. What you want to do? Freaky diggy? What you want to do? Freaky diggy? Yeah? No. But back on topic. Back on topic. Nah, Copper, it's been said. So, it's been said. We all know, we know the truth. Yeah. Freaky diggy. Yeah, Boxing Wiz, you don't know about that. That's an old joke. That's a 70s joke. You wouldn't get that. Hashtag Richard Pryor. Huh? What you want to do? Freaky diggy? Yeah, main biker. Yep. It was actually a Spinks joke. That's what Bud would have did to Loma. Loma, you #1 pound for pound? Yes, I think I ain't #1. Bud, I'm like, oh, what? You better than me? What you want to do? Freaky diggy? There you go. Freaky deaky. He done walked up that ring retarded. Loma, you all right? Freaky deaky. Well, there goes that. Anyway. Business of boxing sucks. Nobody talks enough about the Jamel Herring, Shakur Stevenson situation that happened behind the scenes involving money. And this is after Jamel opened up his house to this kid, man. Right? Alida Alvarez was paid step-aside money so Kovalev could pursue other opportunities. He was given step-aside money like 3 or 4 times. And then when he finally fought Alida Alvarez, he stopped him. Alida stopped him. And they rematched. But he knocked the shit out of Kovalev. I watched it. I said, oh, look at this. Oh, shit. Yeah. The fuck? That's what you get for waiting. Now, what if it's a situation where Beterbiev gets into the ring with the Deon Nicholson and he has an Alida Alvarez moment? And he does something to Beterbiev that's never been done before. And I know it's impossible to consider, but it's boxing, y'all. It's literally the unknown once that bell rings. You can pick a fighter and he can have all the intangibles and get in there, and one false move, he can eat it. Got you looking like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, it's boxing, y'all. Why does David Benavidez have to fight Anthony Yard? And then granted, he wins that. If he wins that, he gets to fight Beterbiev, but Beterbiev gets to sit down all this time. How does that work? Let the fight happen. He's fighting Yard. Let the Nicholson fight happen in November. That's not fair to Nicholson. But who's talking about Nicholson, right? Who cares? Right? Hey, Nicholson is getting looked over in his at a fight with Artur Beterbiev.
Who cares?
Well, goddamn. But he has a mortgage to pay. He got kids or whatever. I mean, this was a good 6-figure payday, man. This was his moment to shine in it.
Who cares?
I care about the sport. I care about the sport. Joseph, you still listening? I didn't block you. I'm hating on a black man, or am I telling the truth about Tank that you don't want to fucking hear? Because here I am talking up the black man, and I'm talking up the black man and not calling Beterbiev a racist and not calling Benavidez a racist. I'm not doing that. He's falling victim of the business. The business. And this right here is not a race thing. It's really not. It's really not. We could just chalk it up to what? The business. I understand it, but I don't like it. You're not there, Joseph? You don't want to talk to me? I'm very respectful. I'm not screaming. I'm not yelling. You know, I'm a man. I talk with the tone in my voice. I'll let you speak your piece, but it sounds to me, it looks to me that you're afraid. You're afraid, and that's okay. Most cowards are. Most cowards are. I'm on your page right now. You ain't got nothing going on there. Nice cornrows, by the way. You know, look like a Tank Davis pose to me. You're showing off your cornrows. Are that your cornrows, or did you do you braid hair? I'm being serious. This is his page. This is his page. Okay. That's the @ youtube.com/@Joseph00922. Joined December. He joined on Christmas of 2017. He only has 2 subs, no videos. And I'm not going to block you. Maybe you want to come back because Tank will be the topic of discussion. And what's brilliant about this, Joseph, is that everything that I say about Tank, although I joke about it because it's clown shit to me, I never, ever, 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 ever got to lie on that kid. Ever. I don't need to. I don't need to. That kid is so dense, he didn't know that Jake Paul was signing his check. Dense as hell. I don't know, Boxer Wiz. I got to get to know you, brother. I got to get to know you, brother. I got to get to know you. It's okay. I got to get to know you. You know, stranger danger. A lot of people buddy up with me to boost their channel. Next thing you know, they're talking shit about me. And I'm not saying you're one of those, but I have to be careful. I helped a lot of people just for them to stab me in the back. I'm a very fair individual. I'm a very fair individual. A lot of people use my name to move their channel. Wiz, I'm gonna give you an exercise. Put Drew Titan in the YouTube search engine and you'll see about 100 videos pop up. And here's a guarantee. None of those cats know me personally. None of those cats know me. And when there was space and opportunity for them to meet me, because I'm outside, I'm at all the fights, run and hide. I'm on here talking boxing, and this is actually my backup channel. I have 2 of them. My main channel, I'm in YouTube jail. I'll be back grinding on that probably next Wednesday. But I don't have to pay attention to peons. If you need to use my name to come up, that's on you. I don't need nothing, because while I'm talking boxing, what I always say, I'm talking boxing, they talking about me. Yeah, that's me, Drew Titan LLC. While While I'm talking boxing, they talking about me. They talking about my physique or I'm on steroids. Nah, I'm just in shape. I'm just in shape and your girl likes me. I'm every bit the man that you want to be. You're not tall enough. You're not strong enough. You're not manly enough. You're just not. Got niggas. Yo, bro, do y'all know niggas are still mad at me over the Sugar Hill interview? Now, well, boxing Wiz, if you can't find nothing on me, that's cool either way. I mean, I really don't. I don't like giving haters shine because they have nothing to talk about. I'm not a millionaire athlete, but if you make time to do marathon streams about me, that means I've impacted your life. I don't know why, but whatever. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just a guy I'm a guy from the Bronx that loves boxing and the sport don't love me back. I got to do shows in the morning like this about why the fuck Deon Nicholson is getting dicked out of an opportunity. This is bullshit. But it's business, right? Now, who the fuck else is talking about this? I didn't even know about this until I knew he had a fight lined up, but I didn't know that it was getting canceled. Willie Lowe hits me up, right? And I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on here? And then as I'm reading the text, Blue Blood puts out the video. Because Benavidez and Beterbiev are lining up to fight each other. Well, he can still fight Deon because Benavidez is fighting Anthony Yard. Why can't he? Why can't he have that fight in between? You know why? Because maybe Deon Nicholson, he might have some Barrera, Nassim Hamed aura around him. He might have some Ricardo Mayorga, Vernon Forrest aura around him. And we don't need that. We need these big fights to happen. You feel me? Oh, I know about Yoel Romero. Oh, that's a friend of yours? Oh my God, that guy got hands. Jesus Christ. Put somebody in a hospital. Eric Jordan in that super chat, he says Miguel and the Machine love to big up their fighters, but afraid of their fighters fighting real fighters that have the ninja sword. What y'all know about the ninja sword?
Give power to my nigger sword!
What y'all know about that? Salute, E. Damn, Joseph, I was looking to have a conversation with you. It's Friday, man. I still got Tank fans telling me that I'm degrading the black man, but that black man is bending the knee to the white man who outweighs him by 70 pounds. Come on, Joseph, you ain't want to have that conversation with me? I have questions for you. I got questions. Oh, I can't support a black man. I can't support anybody that's degrading a black man. Have y'all ever seen Joseph in my chat? When I talk about what the media said about Devin? Y'all ever saw him in my chat before, ever? Ever? Y'all seen Joseph in my chat when I talk about what the media did to Devin? Y'all ever saw Joseph in my chat when I laid it out what Ryan Garcia said and did? Lying about supplements? Y'all ever seen Joseph in my chat? Ever? The live streams when I'm screaming about what a racist Ryan Garcia was and is, and he's unapologetic. You ever saw that? You ever seen him that, when Ryan popped dirty? You ever seen Joseph in my chat when that was happening? You see, when you're a Tank fan, you got to stand on a lot because I got questions. Exactly, J. Bean. Joseph, maybe Jerome. That might be Jerome right there, y'all. I mean, look. That might be Jerome, y'all. Look, he has no goddamn content. Got 2 subscribers, which means he follows himself. So he has more than one account, and his avatar is a picture of, I'm assuming, his hair. Huh? Really? I want to show y'all something. Let me send this to myself. I want to show y'all something. And shout out to Mr. Shelton because who is Jerome, Mr. Shelton? Jerome is Miguel's boyfriend, his black knuckle dragon boyfriend. That's right. That's right. His black knuckle dragon boyfriend. Miguel is a Ryan Garcia fan. Jerome is a Tank Davis fan. And he made threats to me on a live stream yesterday, and I recorded it, and I'm lawyered up, and YouTube is going to have some explaining to do. But I want to show y'all something. Okay, let me load this picture up. I'm going to show you this. Look at this. Watch this. Got a question for you. So Mr. Shelton sends me this, and I'm confused. Well, I made this meme, but I'm confused. I did a video about that scumbag, Oneida Romulus, mother of 4, deleted 2 of her 4 kids, and it sounded like she had a meltdown because she was talking incoherent, right? 2 of the kids survived, 2 have been deleted. She was also on paternity court. And I went to the episode on YouTube, and surprise, surprise, 3 years ago, I commented on that show. And neither one of the dudes there were the father. I want to know which one was the father of the kids that was slain. So the dude said, I'm still going to be in the kid's life, whichever kids that was, but you can't be in one's life and not be in all of them. So I want to know, I want him to be interviewed. Because when they went into our house, now it turned into a big thing. Go into our house and found out she was a scam queen. She had credit cards and social security cards and all kinds of crap. Yeah, Shelton, go to yesterday's show. Yeah. So I, and salute to Eric Jordan. He says, stop rocking with Tank because he a duck and he sells his cheeks to Miguel. Yeah, right in the poop shoot. So I do a video and I said some things. Joseph, click the damn link. I asked you to come talk. Ain't no one cyber stalking you. Stop crying, stupid. Now you being a baby. I don't need your goddamn respect. You came in here and said that I don't respect black men, which is bullshit. And I ain't asked for your subscription anyway. Now, if you're going to come up here and talk like a goddamn man, or get out of here. You don't like how I hate on Tank. I don't like how Tank hates himself, how he hates on other Muslims, how he hates on black men, how he's uninformed, and how, guess what? He hates you. And he said it out loud. Now, if you're not going to come up here and have a conversation, have a good day. Now, I did a video last night about this heifer, and I said some things. So Mr. Shelton types in the AI, why is Drew Titan so mean? And this was the AI's response. You see this shit? Drew Titan's language and tone in the podcast could be perceived as mean due to his strong condemnation and harsh, descriptions of Oneida Romulus and her actions. Now, wait a minute. harsh descriptions. She deleted 2 of her seeds. It's harsh. And it says here, for example, he refers to her as an insecure hooligan who doesn't deserve another breath on earth. And later as scum of the earth. And they're giving timestamps, y'all. He also states that he hopes she gets everything she deserves. Timestamp, right? After detailing the accusations against her, these aren't accusations. She's arrested and set on $14 million bail. Bail. 14 million. His commentary throughout the video expresses a clear lack of sympathy and significant anger towards Romulus. Wait a minute. A black woman, our queen, deleted 2 of her 4 kids. And then when they go to the house, they find out she had a scam ring, stolen credit cards, social security cards, and IDs. So when I tell you that AI is racist, media is racist, when I tell y'all about 1965, how they tricked our black queens into choosing Uncle Sam over having a black man in the house, AI is defending and giving this woman the benefit of the doubt. She killed 2 of her kids. I'm the villain. It's what she did. Lack of sympathy? Of course. More on this. I'm going to do a whole live about this. AI is racist. Now, let me get back to Joseph. Young man, cyber stalking. You have a YouTube channel. I just referred at least 50 people to it. I went to your page to see if you was a real person. I get trolled every day. At no point did I tell anybody to go to your page and find your email and stalk you and dox you. I never said that. I said, this is his page right here. He has 2 followers, and I think you have more than 1 channel. You follow yourself. You came in here, you threw a rock, you made an accusation towards me. I said, I'll put a link in there so we can have a conversation. And you said, oh, no, you don't like black men and you hate on Tank. No, you're a Tank fanatic and you can't defend your position because I'm giving you space and opportunity to do so. And like the child you are, raised by a single mom, you say I'm bullying you. First of all, you're nobody important for me to stalk. Second of all, you're nobody important for me to stalk. Third of all, you can't defend Tank because I gave you space and opportunity to do so. So with that being said, I don't care about your subscription. I don't need your respect. Respect is earned. And if you don't understand a fucking word I'm saying here, then that tells me everything I need to know about you as an adolescent. I don't need to hate on Tank. I don't have to lie on a kid. Everything I said about him is 100% true. And I was challenging you to click the link, come up here, and tell me when I'm lying on the kid. Have I clowned the kid? Absolutely. 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 So what? He's a clown. Let me take care of you, Copper. The kid's a clown. And that's my question to you. He's a clown. Prove he's not. I'm talking boxing here. You're talking blowjobs. Tank fans be
I
like,
used to suck dick for coke. I seen him.
you don't want no smoke. That Sunday, what is that? That circus? Is that fight on a Saturday or Friday? I don't know. But I'll be live that night, regardless of what happens. You better hope Tank wins. If not, y'all gonna be on the floor like.
Can I ask you what's going on? 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 Can I ask you what's going on?
Joseph.
Do you suck dicks?
Huh? Joseph.
Do you suck dicks?
Don't need your respect. I don't need nothing from a goddamn Tank fan. I really don't. 'Cause if you're not holding that kid accountable, you're a fan of him and not the sport. What I need is for him to be out the way so real fighters could take care of business. I can explain why that kid is not good for the sport. You can't explain it. But you can talk about braided hair, chrome hearts, and tattoos. Salute to Deon Nicholson. I want to try and get him in a strong house and find out what's going on. It's not good, but it's typical behavior in boxing. And all I'm saying is if Benavidez can fight Anthony Yard in between, which is a tough fight, why can't Arthur fight Deon Nicholson? There might be something going on there. But everybody wants to pocket watch. I need you to understand something. If he's not getting step-aside money, because I don't know. He might be. But if he's not, because I just showed you, it's on BoxRec. If he's not getting step-aside money, this is a fucking crime. Why can't that black man get his bread? But I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out what's happening to the brother from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The black man. Right, Joseph? The black man. Right? Or the only black man you care about in the sport are light-skinned niggas from Baltimore with tattoos all over their body. Joseph, where were you when Ryan Garcia did what he did to Devin? Where were you? Where were you? Clown. Stupid ass Tank fans. And this is why I don't like them. That's why. Oh, the black man. Tank is the biggest nigger in boxing right now. Fuck you talking about? Eric Jordan, that super chat. He said, don't tell me that you that ninja in the video that's asking what's going on. It's Miguel in the machine, Tank and his Franks running a train, clapping your cheeks. Do I smell a whore? Do I smell a whore? Huh? What's going on?
Bukaki.
Man, I'm out, man. I got things to do, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat. I want to reach out to Deon Nicholson to find out what's going on. Hopefully he is getting step-aside money. I don't know. But it's the principle of it. And this is why this sport is harsh. I think the general's on. Let's head over there. I don't know if I'm gonna do a Simeon Saturdays. There's no live on Monday. I got a lot of work to do, but I'll be back Tuesday, and my other channel should be back to normal on Wednesday. Screw you, Jerome, and screw you, Miguel, and shout out to Joseph, you coward. Don't need your support. You may as well unsub. But at any time you want to come up here and fight on behalf of Tank, you can fight. But I'm gonna slay you with logic. Do your homework. Bronx on deck. Move! Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. Very, 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 very important.
Okay, have a crappy weekend. Hope your house burns down.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.